All right, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to tackle adding a kind of a sidebar that comes in for doing our editing of activities in our project. So that's just going to give us that's what we're going to start with. But this is probably something that's going to kind of permeate through a lot of different sections. But that's where we're going to start with today. So, hello, Infinite Stream. Okay. Yeah, so when we come in here and we look at, for example, one of these activities that are going to be editable, then we want to be able to click on Edit button and have it slide open and do our editing as opposed to going to a whole new page. So right now we don't have any editing, so let's go and start that out. So this isn't going to be available on things like emails because we can't edit history, but for something like what do we have at the top here? This is the note. So if we go into our note, let's just start off by throwing in here a link to edit. And this is going to be going to our edit note path for the note. So if we edit this, it gives us a form. Beautiful and boring. So in here, we're going to want to do a data turbo, I think true if I remember correct. So actually, that's before we do that. When we do the edit here, we'll see that we're doing a get as HTML. We actually want to do a get as a turbo stream. So that's where you go data turbo true. I think that should let us go edit, and that's coming in still as HTML. What am I doing wrong there? So if we look at where did I do this somewhere else? In the companies show, we've got the companies doc down. Okay, turbo stream true. So close. So by default, gets are going to not be using a turbo stream, but because we want to handle that differently, we're going to do that. So if we do it now, we're still getting HTML. Let me just check that I'm doing this right. Data turbo stream true, href, blah, blah, blah. That looks good to me. And it's not coming through. I wonder if I go to the views, notes, and if I go to, well, we're going to be heading in the direction to do new.turbo stream.erb, and we already have one of those. Because we're using the drawer. Okay, it's edit, not new. That's why. Edit dot turbo stream .erb. All right. We're likely going to be actually changing that on both. Actually, you know what? Why don't we just do that right now? So we're appending this to the drawer container. That's probably still going to be fine. So we've got the new note modal, contents, component panel. So we're going to want to make a new panel, our new component here. So we're going to do Rails G view component. This is going to be a sidebar. No, this will be a slide over. We're going to say this can take a title. Yeah, it's probably fine for now. All right. So we've got our slide over component. We've got our component. All right, that's all good. So here, let's actually just work with the new because we already know that that works. Oh, no, we're not going to. Yeah, let's do it right. So if we go to our edit, like that. And all right, let's see if this is okay. So that's giving us our panel, so we're doing that good. And yeah, we're passing edit as triple string. Cool. Okay. So we actually don't want to be using a panel. We want to use a slide over. And we'll do the title is edit note. And we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to spit up the form. And if we refresh this and edit, we get the slide over template here. Yay. Step one's good. So let's go in here and let's copy over the HTML. And we're just grabbing this straight from Tailwind UI. So let's just plop that whole bad boy in and see where this gets us. So let's do edit. And all right, we got something going on pretty good. This is a reasonable starting spot. All right, so what are we going to be doing here? So we've got our modal here. We're going to want to put a data controller removable. And we're going to have on the button type, we're going to put a data action equals removable remove. So if we edit, we can now remove it. Great. One thing that we probably want to do is add a background overlay. So actually that's even better. So I'm actually going to grab that and replace this before we get into this too much. So again, data controller equals removable. If you click on the button, we want to do a data action equals remove removable. And so if we edit and go, okay. Now this has a side, the title there has a Z index. What is that at? Z10, and I don't remember off the top of my head. Tailwind UI, no, Tailwind. CSS. I'm trying to remember what the Z index scale is. So let's just, so this slide over, we're going to want to be, so I want to do something like Z40. I suppose something could go over it, but probably shouldn't. Div class Z10, let's bump that to Z40. Ooh. Interesting. Z40. I wonder if I should almost be putting that into the actual container there. That's the drawer. The drawer container should be over top of everything else. That seems reasonable, and then I can drop it from kind of everything that's inside of it. I think that's probably a reasonable place to go. So that is in here, the drawer container fixed in and Z40. So let's put this at Z30, kind of smack dab in the middle. So that being a Z10 is kind of going to be below anything, so that makes kind of a reasonable sense. So let's see if this now, beautiful. So we can close that. This background stops us from clicking on stuff, but I probably want to, I don't know, yeah, I probably want to have a escape handler so I can hit escape to close it. Yeah, there was some stuff to do there. Anyways, okay, that's good. So let's go back into the component. So if we have a title, where's that? Panel titles right here. All right. So in here we can just do if title dot present because I suppose do want to force them to always have a title. We're going to do more stuff around this, but they do currently have to always have a title. So let's just use that title in here. All right. So edit and blow up. Cool. That's because I'm not actually able to access it. All right, so reload, edit note, beautiful. And we're not actually doing anything with the content. So if we hop back over to our edit, we've got our slow drive note, and then we're popping the form into there. So in here, we can just do your content, which for a Tailwind component is, or a view component, that's just going to be the content. So we can edit that. So now we're getting our form. And we throw an exclamation mark, update note, and that's reloading everything. All right, that's not too bad. But that's not what we want. So let me just check and see what we're doing in our controller. So for our notes currently, we are, when we create it, we're spitting out or whatever, and we're updating it. We're going to want to do kind of the same type of thing. So here we're going back, so we don't want to actually, so we'll do that, and we'll go back to our update dot turbostream.erb. So in here, we're going to want to do a turbo stream dot replace, and this is going to be the DOM ID of the note. So we're going to replace the DOM ID with the note, and I think in here we can just well, I think my wife is now vacuuming, so hopefully that doesn't pick up on there too much. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can get her to stop. Well, here's the fun thing, I guess. All right, so if we are doing a turbo stream, then we want to replace, and we're going to put in here the note. So we're just going to render the note. Actually, let's just check. Actually, we're pulling here. So when we create, we're going to remove the new note modal. So on our edit, we're going to remove the edit note modal. We are going to not want to prepend, we're going to want to replace. We're going to replace the DOM ID of the note with the new note, and we'll still throw in the highlight. Let's see if that works. All right, let's see if all that works. So we're gonna edit, throw 2 exclamations, update, flashes, goes away. I think we're good. Let's see what's happening with our terminal. So we're doing the update, and that looks all reasonable. So there we go. So now we can edit. So if we come into, so let's add that to one of our tasks as well. So if we go to our task, Let's throw in here link to edit task path for the task, and data turbo stream true. That's going to do the same thing there. We're going to want to have the edit dot turbo stream dot erb, and we're going to be eventually needing to do the update dot turbo stream dot erb, and we already have that. So we're good there. So we're going to basically take the exact same idea. So for editing, so we're going to add to the drawer container, we're going to add a edit task modal with content, slide over title, edit task, and form task. Do we even need that? Yeah, the record we don't need. All right. So if we do that, we're good there. What are we doing here? So in here, we're going to remove the edit task modal. We're going to replace DOM ID of the task with the task. So replace DOM ID task, render task. So that's redundant. We already have the highlight, and apparently we're doing for 2000 here. That's because we want to flash it. That's probably why. So we'll keep that. All right. So if we do that, we should be good there. And if we take a look at our tasks controller, TurboStream reader. Actually, yeah, we ended up doing the exact same thing there, basically. All right, so if we refresh this on our task, we now can edit, and that doesn't work. Why are you not working? Data turbo stream true. And if we look at our tasks controller, edit. If we look at our notes controller, edit. That's good either way. Let's edit that. Why is that not coming as a turbo stream? Am I misreading this? Data turbo steam. How many of you are yelling at me? Data turbo stream. Edit. Ooh, now we have a full thing. Sign to pen immigration. I can edit. Boom. Perfect. All right. So now we have our slide over. I could be doing more work. I'm going to do more stuff on this to fade in the background, slide it over instead of just popping it over. So those are things that I'd have to set up, but kind of to the basic gist of it, that's working now. We have our title being set. This is probably where we're going to want to build in more and more flexibility with the slide over. And if you look at some of the stuff that they show in here, having a title that's maybe when you're creating something. So we're going to apply this to when you're creating new things, instead of having it do a new screen, or even probably even the pop-up. It's going to probably want to do a whole slide over. I expect we're potentially going to want to do, I'm not sure if we want to do the same thing for new emails and stuff. But I think that we're going to probably apply this type of popover for editing in general. But that gives us a good start for what this should be doing. And My only concern with some of this is like if we're gonna need to do some stuff where if you start editing, you close it, it's gonna, that would be a problem. Yeah, and we're going to apply this to the new actions as well. And those actually will be easy enough. So if we go over to new.turbostream, and here we can, so we were going to want to be able to do flexibility to say, so in here we can drop the edge bottom concept. We can make expandable still be something. This will add an extra thing to it. Slide overs probably are going to always be removable because they're usually for modal interaction. So I probably wouldn't have this option at all, but the expandable still makes sense, I think. That way we can make the slide over bigger. I guess one of the other things I haven't really looked at is for the edit, what does this do for responsive? So if I bring this down, yeah, this should probably pop at some point to do something, go full screen or something, I don't know. We'll have to play with that, but that's a good quick starting spot. That's kind of that's where I think we'll stop. So yeah, so this is a really quick way. We added a few extra actions to be able to interact with that pop in and pop out idea behind the slide over. That way you can go do full editing. There's definitely more improvements we can do for the user interface. We'll probably end up making that edit and move it up into like a sub menu where you can drop it down, and there's a bunch of stuff we'd want to do there. Even maybe make a set of action buttons. That's actually not a bad idea. Have a set of action buttons in the corner. That way you can bookmark, unbookmark, edit. That kind of all be located in one spot. So I didn't think about that, how that's going to work a little bit. But the concept is kind of a good sound starting spot. So yeah, that's adding some slide overs. It's super simple to do with some of these things that are really interactive, just by adding a little bit of turbo streams, Hotwire stuff. And I'm gonna probably clean this up a little bit. It's kind of just thrown together, but that's kind of the idea.